All right, so we're going to be getting into types of forces. Types of forces include gravity, which always pulls straight down. Doesn't matter where you're at, we're considering it straight down. Normal, well, we're not considering situations in space for the majority of the stuff we're talking about. That would make things a little bit different. Normal is perpendicular to the surface. So if you have a flat surface, I'm just going to draw this down here. If you have a flat surface, your normal is going to go upward and your gravity would be downward. So if I had a box on there. And then if I have a slanted surface, my gravity would be straight down still, but my normal is going to be perpendicular to the surface. So the upward of the normal, if you break this into components, we'd have an upward and we'd have a left direction. So the upward is going to end up canceling gravity, and that's why we get a downward, like a diagonal downward for that causes it to actually move downhill. We'll go into more depth with this later. Elastic includes rubber bands. Tension includes strings, ropes, pulleys, so on and so forth. Friction is due to the surface. Now, if you include air resistance with friction, I'm okay with that. It may depend upon the assignment, but you might hear other people that want you to use drag for air resistance. Either way, it is a type of friction, but typical friction, we think of the surface friction, but you might see where they're both considered friction. And then we've got applied force, and I think that's all that we should have. So you're going to take the types of forces, you're going to consider the scenarios here. One thing I want to point out is I'm going to do 2 of these problems with you. So the first one, number 2, is an object that's sliding at a constant speed on a frictionless surface. So if it's moving at a constant speed, we don't have any force that's causing that motion. So with Newton's law says that an object in motion stays in motion, an object at rest stays at rest. So if this is already moving, it's going to stay moving. So the only thing that's acting on this is our gravity and our normal force, and they cancel out. And then it's still moving. It's on frictionless surface, done. Okay, let's take a look at number 8 also. So number 8, we have an object that is suspended from the wall, and it's got another rope here. So if we look at this one, let's switch colors here. We're going to have our gravitational pull downwards. We're going to have, this is going to be a tension force this way. Now, in order to keep this from moving, the direction, this leftward part of this tension has to be the same as the rightward part of this tension, okay? And then the upward part of this tension has to be equal to the downward of gravity. So then they all end up canceling out. We'll get more in depth with this with numbers in it later, but I want you to kind of think through breaking some of these down into components so that you can think about how they would end up canceling out. So you're going to go ahead and finish this assignment, and we'll discuss these afterwards.